coming up on 4 o'clock in the morning. We have made a shoulder on the 4 hour, and I'm buying the shoulder. But I've been buying all night, so we're looking for a breakout. We want to take out these two 4 hour bars, crush the rooftops here. We're looking for a short squeeze or a rally, what do you would call it. Those are my targets on my limits, and I've got other targets, but I deleted some objects, so I might have deleted objects in this. So I put just a ton of tickets in here. I was prepared to buy lower, but this is the abyss, the deepest abyss, and now we're coming up on a possible punch into the next abyss, and I'm going to cash out. I'm not going to sell into that because I'm not, but I am going to sell into that because I'm cashing out. So that's the trade plan. So that's as simple as that. We buy low, we sell high. This is it. This is all it is. And just keep placing those tickets. Just keep putting them tickets in there. All different flavors. Got a 5 pip stop, 8 pip stop. So I run a lot of these 1 hours because we're right up against the market. I feel safe putting 1 hour tickets in like this. See? 2 hours down here, I certainly could see that being ridiculous. So this is the half hour chart. Here's the 1 hour chart. Here's the 4 hour chart. Daily chart. It's just not going anywhere. This is always a heartbreaker when you build an algorithm on the daily charts. You're like, there's no trades. It's amazing, but there's no trades. It's a pure range trade. Like anywhere here. Buy, sell. Of course, this is the middle, supposedly. I'm supposed to come back to here at least for the scalp today. The daily scalp. That's all we're interested in. How can we get out of this fucking thing and make some money? So I guess I'm trying to make about $3 grand here. At least make my margin. By the time the sun comes up, we can start plowing into this round handle or something here. I'm trying to make 20 pips. 20 pip grid. And that's it. I can't say much more other than if you're on the 1 hour chart, you could see it really clearly how fast that was. And it looks like the sellers are coming in there. So we could get out right now. We could go flat at $800, but I'm actually going to buy more. On a 1 hour basis, limits here, 5 pip stops to make 8. Here's a 5 to make 10. Here's 10 to make 20. And I expect to get stopped out of maybe this one here. 8 pip stop. So I'm going to add to the position on pullbacks into this fair value now. 8 pip stop here in a 1 hour. So it has come flying back. If it drifts back, it will not fill, and we will not take on as much. I figure if it slams back, it's more likely to be a momentary move, right? When the market starts spiking around, that's when we're making money on this system, because we're counting on, look, we're all the way back to Asia's prices, but we've been there how many times already, right? So how many times could you have rinsed and repeated this trade plan? You drop buy limits, you cash out. Now I didn't, but I could have. And we buy below here, we dump. I mean, this is getting, see, it's ranging. I know it's going down, but it's ranging. It doesn't really matter whether you buy or sell this thing. If you get in really big here and you have a stop here and you're going to look for this move and you're like, okay, this is my move. and you better get out because you're going to be right back there. So if you're in super big, aren't you going to cash out? If you just made $1 million, are you going to wait for this to give back $1 million? To wait for them to and at this time of day, so here's it's just crazy. But I think a dip into this window, we can cash out and maybe just let it go. And these orders will delete themselves in 1 hour, so we won't have an exposure here, and then we'll come in with the 2-hour tickets and nest them in here like this. So 4-hour tickets are down here. Presupposing that we make $2-3 grand here, we'll probably just cash out. If we make $5 grand, we'll just cash out. I make $5 grand a day, in this mini system. That's the target, I suppose. Keep flipping the account every day. If you set it up on the pound where you're able to exploit all the new lows and it comes flying back and it's it just can't get the party started and it just becomes a range noisy mess, which is 80% of the market, then you just keep trading that shit. So you go with the hand you're dealt. But this is the line of scrimmage here. You keep doing approach avoidances up here. We shear these candles off, dip into the abyss, we cash out, we come back, we reload on limits, or you're good. You made $3 grand here before U.S. markets open, and it's going to be a panic buying into the end of the year. Maybe it is the end of the year, so you're going to see people wrapping up positions, and once people take stuff out, it doesn't mean that the market's worth anything just because it's going up. It's just that there's an order imbalance on some other market. I'm sure after crude oil's spectacular spike, and the dollar actually has been very strong this whole time into the end of the year. It's so funny, every time on the news I hear him talking about the euro's just getting destroyed by the dollar. So I don't even know what they're talking about. Now the euro is sitting poised in this giant on the monthlies, we're just down in the bilges here. So at some point the giant retracement of retracement is going to take place. And if that's up, it's going to be quite spectacular based on where everything's situated. But people do lock stuff in. Taxes are a real thing, and people do have accountants, and they do time the market. They do say, you know what, by the end of the month, let's go flat. And as soon as people pull all their trades off, it creates a vacuum. And of course, there's less people trading during Christmas. And I always like when they said that, because I always made so much money from the market. If you were right about that move, you made so much money because it's so fucking insane of a move. This one broker I had, it probably still exists in Russia, called Master Forex, and they made their spreads 50 pips on the holidays. So, if you wanted to trade it, you could put that trade on, but the spread was 50 pips for 2 days, for a week. For a week, they just assigned it. They just went into lockdown. It's going to be like this. This is what it's going to be. Your life is now in this at this number. So this will be a scalp, and then we're going to reload the gun on limits again. Looking for another big sell-off. You know how these markets are. So we don't have a choice here. It's just placing orders and just the drudgery of it all. Didn't get filled on those limits, so we were trying to add onto this position, and instead of buying at the market, I'm just letting the tickets come in go. So this keeps you from oversizing it at least. I can see people buying here saying, you know what, it's about to break out. But honestly, I feel like if I didn't buy at that low, if I didn't buy those lows, that I did something wrong already. I wouldn't chase it here myself. I'd be like, okay, well, let's put sell limits up there. Actually, right now, if I wasn't in this trade, I'd go sell limits right now. So I'm imagining them hitting me, filling me in the sell limits here. I can't keep track of my balance. Chase it down here. Okay, let's get out of this trade though. So this is really maxes out at 40 pips. After 20 pips though, I should be out of half of that margin. I put some 14 pip targets in, so I have very tight targets. 10, 8 pips. I've even got some of these that probably survived. I'm curious to how many times this trade actually makes it. So I would do the stats on that. You know, make the comment, include the, you can put the comment, can be 20 characters here, so you can put this long phrase of what you think, or what that actual script does. I just tipped in the window there, so somebody went short. Somebody's enjoying the short side of that at the moment. Whoever put a sell limit right up in this box. So waiting for the final crush. 6 o'clock in the morning. I think we could be tipping into this window, so that'll be cashing outville. And maybe get filled on these buy limits I put in the 1 hour. So I don't want to give the market too many. That's why I wouldn't chase into this, anticipated smash up. I'd rather put the buy limits down here. And hopefully I took enough size off the thing. I'm kind of just right where I was. I'm down about $700 on the balance. But I'm up, my equity's up about 200 since I started buying this plunge, which really started here, because I remember what I did. I just kept saying I was going to keep buying, and I did. And then this one, whatever profits were in it. And then when I saw this move, I said, oh my God, really? And this is about 4 o'clock in the morning. They're going to smash that thing down. So then I started dragging and dropping quite a few tickets, but I only ever used about $3,000 in margin. So now it's just about the top of the hour, waiting for the top of the hour. Yeah, the copyright, I know the music was too loud on that ICT thing, but I couldn't scramble that egg because I actually recorded that thing with the backing tracks at the same time. It just was it's a spoof. Don't get to. I mean, I could do a better job if I really got a teleprompter and all that. I'd probably do a better job. Coming to a theater near you. ICT in his fucknuttery. Who do you cast in this thing? What kind of weaselly character? Hollywood's making a movie. ICT and the Wrecking Crew. This is the line of scrimmage, folks. What's with this folks shit? Hey, folks. You know, we're just trying to be very friendly. Gosh, folks. But politicians say that. Hey, folks. You got any money left? We want to put some taxes on your gasoline. What else are you going to tax? Your thoughts. Yeah, they're taxing my thoughts here with this copyright infringements. Like, dude, making so much money on your epic music that's needed for ICT's backing. You need, like, profound, enchanted, journey-esque music. Hansel and Gretel shit. The enchantment stuff. This is the J token trick. You use the enchantment series and you're in. The Hobbit. Guy's living. He's a fucking. I don't have the patience for these markets, to be honest with you. But so I wish they would smack it back to here and be like, oh yeah, man, rip it back to here. Let's buy more. And then let's go after this thing, so that's my dream for the day. This is very, very passive trading style. You almost can't hardly stay awake with this fucking style. Here, 1 hour. Down here, I feel like we're going to smack it. Like we're coming down here. Uh-oh, broker just went offline. There you go. So I like to see that arrow. I don't want to duplicate any price entries either. This is a 2-hour script. Here's 3 hours. They stack them in like this. See how this works? It's like fucking boring, man. It's like running a warehouse. It's just so boring, dude. All right, hey, listen. Picking up some tickets here. Look at this. There you go. See? That's why you never want to buy anticipating a breakout. Look at these top tick time. You guys are fucking raping these bulls. Ruh-roh. All right. Let's buy this fucker on the 1 hour. 1 hour auctions. Oh, I can just go nuts now with this account. These these mini lots, you can just be a pig. Here, let's make 30 pips off of here in 4 hours if it comes back here. Here we go. We're back in. Back in already. It's like we never left. So these guys got top tick Tommy. They put their buy stop up here. They told me put my buy. This is resistance, and if it breaks that, I want to buy it, right? Yeah, that's right, son. You just keep buying up there. You keep buying high, and I'll keep buying low. So yeah, they could trash this whole trade plan. They could smack this thing back to earth. People always ask me, what do you do when they stop you out? What do you do when the market comes flying back into this price? All these orders. Here it comes. Here she comes. So I'm only down $200, and I built this giant position to the north side. There she goes. Autofill. Can't beat it. Very tight stops on this stuff. Gosh, I feel like putting in more tickets now. Yeah, trading at the market was just the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Look at this. I'm almost above water on this top ticket now. It's on the 5. It looks like that. Okay. So these are 1 hour tickets. They could fill. I like the 1 hour chart like this because I can see this spot, and I don't have to go down to the 5-minute chart to realize that, man, if they could rip this all the way back here one more time, wouldn't you want to buy that stack? So it looks like a stack on the 1 hour, where so if you go to the 5-minute, your brain starts to say stuff. Well, is that like a is that wave 1 or 3? You just can't. Maybe a half, maybe 15-minute chart. Like here's a double bottom on the 15, so you're like, okay, this is a double bottom under the floor, and I'm gonna get in here like we're underneath this price. Let's get in here and ride it, and then it tries to engulf. It can't get the party started, but we could trade all of these failures. So see how my buy limits make sense now. That makes total sense on this 15-minute chart. So I can see the pullback. If it really rips down, comes all the way back to this hammer on the 15, this lonely. I mean, that was a premium. If you're a sniper, this is your premium. You're buying this close below this double bottom. You lock that in, and you just ride it for 45 minutes or a half an hour. Actually, you could just get out here. I mean, I'd get out right after this candle here. I'd be like, you know what? Let's just get out. So now we get back in. So I'm already long from down here. So I'm in this trade. I'm in this trade myself, but I'm not buying on limits here. I'm just sitting in a giant swing trade. I'm in for the long haul of taking this out with my money, but with this demo, I'm in like I am, just the same way here. But here I'm going aggressive, okay? I'm putting in 1 hour tickets on top of my position. And I'm kind of adding just maybe a little bit more, really, not even that much. Honestly, I probably picked up $200 of, I picked up another 30K here, but I'm in way more than that. So the final destination is what I'm riding based on the 4 hour this pressure in this box up here and this ultimate fill that we got. And here's, we kind of overpaid on the way down here, but I got in as thick as I could. Now it's the top of the hour, boom. Looking for a reaction here. Possibly we'll scalp out of this just automatically and we can make $3 grand and just go back to sleep. Because I think I like sleeping. But 4 o'clock in the morning, now we're waiting for US markets to open. It's Tuesday. It's going to be, stock market closes in 12 hours exactly. So you get 12 hours for this drama to unfold now. So the target is this box to cash out of everything that we got into. You can see all my targets stacked up to here. I think with my real money, I'm going to go flat as soon as we tip into this window, whichever comes first. U.S. markets, stocks open, maybe dilly-dally here, stocks open, we go thrusting to here, climax after the thrust. I guess if you put it that way, trading could be more exciting, right? A bunch of pressure building up, and yeah, how about Forex porn? Why aren't people a little more creative, Why is everybody so stuffy about trading? Well, it's very technical, see? It's technical analysis, anal analysis, too. All kinds of things. All right, let's crush that puppy. So the scalpers had their fun. They're going to get their face ripped off if they don't get out of the way of this storm, this bull storm. Okay, there you go. We picked up a couple little tickets on that. And the bum rush begins. I think stocks, I don't know if they're coupled to the euro. But if the dollar crashes, I think stocks could crash maybe, and maybe the euro goes up. But I don't think these things are synced necessarily. I see Bitcoin's kind of dripping, falling apart. What do you expect, right? Poor Bitcoin. Okay, we're tipping into that window. I want to hear cha-ching. Cha-ching. Let's get this exposure out down to like $1,500 a margin here. We don't chase this shit. Okay. We were long down there at the bottom. Now we need it to rip north. Let's go plowing into the abyss. Taking out Asia. And I'll just be cashing out. I don't know when this train's going to stop. I mean, I definitely wish we could take out yesterday's, but that might take the U.S. markets open to take out yesterday's high. That's a bridge too far at the moment. To me, I'm just happy to scalp out of that. We'll make $3,000. Okay, so we're getting down to about $1,800 in margin is where we want to be. We want to make about another $1,000 here. If we just go spiking up. Oh, sellers already came in. So there was a nice sell zone got tagged right there. So we could come back to here. I think so. Scalping out of some of this stuff is the way to go. So scalping around a giant swing position, because there's always a scalp available of some kind if you're flexible enough to, and you would have to put sell limits up here, you know. You could drop some of these guys up here and just go, okay, you know, and then have your finger on the trigger, and as soon as it comes back to here, you just go, okay, I'm out. You know, this is the scalp. You don't need a 5-minute chart, you know. Actually, this is way easier to see all the trades that you just put in these new highs, and then just comes back, and now you got buy limits sitting down here. So, you know, you got to be flexible. Or I could cash out everything right now and say, well, I'm up $300 on a day. I kind of feel like putting buy limits in now. All over again. So put them in close. Pick up a few more. There's 30K in 1 hour if we can come down. And then 2-hour tickets I'm going to put deeper. 3-hour tickets deeper. 4-hour deep. So this way. These will make sense down here 4 hours from now. But if this is a 15-minute drop, it's like, what are you kidding? Really? You think this is going to come down here in 15 minutes and hit this? So the whole point of this is trying to estimate how far, how fast these 1-hour tickets. If that's all you trade is 1-hour tickets, there's no way they're coming down here in 1 hour. But they could come down here in an hour, right? So you got to get this just right. You just got to get this fill just right. Instead of trading at the market, you just keep dropping these like this, and you're asking to get filled. Well, this trap up here, that was great sell, man. Whoever sold that is right now, they're just like, oh yeah, this is great, we're making money. I wish I'd get into a $5,000 position here and make like 5,000. So I figure whatever that margin is going to be my target for the day. If that's how much margin I'm using, that's how much I'm expecting to make. This is another gauge. I suppose of just moderate performance. If you can take this $2,400 of margin and make $2,400 a day, you know, with the account, that seems fair. So we're getting a bite. We got a bite here. We laid our line. We laid our stuff in here. Looks like we're going to get a fill here. Look at that. It's beautiful. Instead of buying up, and look at that, instead of selling up there, we're buying on this plunge. Let's pick up $500 of margin here. So now it's like this. I go heavy here because they're gonna take this thing down. Like, it's gonna be an amazing trade. If that came down here, it'd be amazing. We picked up a few there, so but it got stopped out of the 5 pip stops I was running. 5 pip stop. I mean, that's like 3, really. Come on, it's like 4 pip stop here. But euro dollar, pretty tight spread, you know. It gets tight. So when our limits, when the market gets a tight spread and it's tanking, our limits get the best price really. And as soon as you're locking in a great spread at the moment it fills. 8 pips is a pretty tight stop. 8 to make 14 is my favorite ticket, I think. So I got a 4-hour version of that. I put the 4-hour pretty deep though. And it's going to last for 4 hours. There's a conservative 10 to make 20 pips, 3 hours. That's good. That's perfect. So look at this. Here's a 1 minute chart. Basically buying this plunge on the 1 minute chart. So I trapped up in there, came back, didn't take out this. We put in buy limits. We're very eager to see a completion into the box. So we tipped in the window. If you look at the 1 minute chart, it's a pullback on the 5. And we're waiting for liftoff. Into the U.S. market open. And then maybe it's going to be a pounding. If you look at the monthly, or look at the weekly. So check out this weekly chart. This thing really did take a hit, on the weekly. And golly. So I'm sure there's divergence there on the RSI and weekly. So yeah, how low can they go? This is like the limbo game. Here's the monthly euro dollar. It's fucking amazing. Look at this thing. Come on, man. You think this thing isn't due for a rally or something? What in the fuck? Look at this. Not one bullish month. And they're whining about the dollar. The euro's getting its nuts crushed. What happened here? But it gave back everything after this big explosion. Look at this drama. That's fucking crazy. COVID. Look at that shit. Oh, man. What now? Look at my trade. You can hardly see my trade in there. It's giant. I'm covering about 20 pips. So this is my 20 pip kill zone, loading zone. Yeah, let's just hold this thing for fucking till the end of the year. Look at that monthly chart. Look at that weekly. Oh my god. And that thing's just so punished. I mean, I'm thinking at least a 200 pip rally from here for the rest of the year. Let's kick it off right here, and then we take out this, and then it's just marching until you get to here. And you're like, oh my god. But this would be a lot of up and down, so your brain sees that, but the market's really more like this shit, unfortunately. So there's a big gap between your dream and reality. I'm just saying. Of course, here, if you held on to here and walked away, you could hold on to this until it retraced. I mean, would be a good place to get in. You're already up on the trade. Just move all your targets up, which my targets are literally like 40 pips. So I don't think I'm really exploiting this to the greatest degree in the world. Okay, we're banging on this. We're going into that window. I deleted the objects. But you remember where the box is here, right? So in the 1 hour we're back in this okay, now I deleted my targets, but they're up here. So here we go, cashing out. It's a big cash out. People are freaking out into the US market open. Here's my target window. Is Well, each one of these rooftops here, but I would say this is definitely safe cash out zone. And then we'll just reload limits, or we can put sell limits up there, or whatever it is. I think it's I think I just want to cash out of there and go back to sleep, honestly. Well, we're cashing out, so let's get down to $1,800 a margin would be the best, the most preferred situation. Get to like 14,000 with clear off some of this margin. And the U.S. market's open, and stocks, what are they doing? I'm always curious to see what stocks are doing. They're always beating the shit out of that. Huh. Supposedly a buy on my cloud system here. Daily cloud says buy. That's one thing about these indicators. It's pretty quick and dirty. This is sideways nonsense. What is this? The Nasdaq's about to fall apart. Look at the dollar. You know, the dollar's just bopping along. That's the monthly dollar. Does the dollar look like it's having a problem to you? You know, there's a difference between the news. Look at the dollar. It's up from 2000 here. This is the dollar. Okay, sorry. What's wrong with people, man? This is COVID. This is a dollar. This is a monthly dollar. Bitcoin's looking a little scalp by here. Bitcoin's going to hell. Down here again. Could come all the way back to 30. Just piss people off. If this comes all the way back to the 31,000, people will be like, shit, man, I bought up here. It's like, well, that's fucked. It's manipulating the market. Yeah, that's what it is. Blame it on the manipulation. Sure, you loved it when they were manipulating it up. Huh? What? What'd you say? Yeah, you liked it when they were manipulating the market up. Now you're all fucking worried about. Look at this nice buy down here on this pound. Oh, sweet buy there. So these tickets that never filled. But look at, I would have filled that one ticket. That one ticket would have filled, man. Hey, man. So that was the, right there. I would have filled at least 2 of those tickets there if I left them, but I didn't. And how long did they last? We don't know. From looking at that, we'd have to look at the, if we name the scripts. Okay, U.S. market's going to open. So if I didn't have this other trade running, I would put this in, but I don't like to trade more than one currency at a time. So I would put in this buy limit right here, and I'd try to buy the pound as it drops. But this is pretty fierce. This is a 25 pip grid here, so this is a big. I mean, this is 20 pips right here. It's just been banging around. You know, this thing moves pretty harsh. Spread's big too. Like, look at this thing. It takes out Asia's low, kind of comes back into the fold. Not much drama here at all. Whereas the, you know, that's 25 pips. Here's 20 pips. So you have to buy down into this, cash out up into that, maybe goes a little bit beyond. So that's too much to look at. We'll just go with the easy trade. You know my trade plan. I'm going to go back to sleep. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to cash out anything until about 2 hours from now. So either it goes up here and cashes me out, or by the time, I don't know, there's probably news coming out, 8:30, I'm just going to cash out probably right there if they're not smashing it up. Because when the stocks open, then things will just switch like a, you know, they can go ripping the other direction. And I'm always, the whole point of this system is you're anticipating a possible plunge if you're buying and a possible spike up if you're selling for the scalp. And the big churning moves, if you can make money on the scalp during the turning point, then you can relax and trade a small position. You can go from big positions to small positions based on what's going on. So if you're in some drifting trade, it's going to take 3 days to pay out, or 2 days maybe, because the market's so rangy that 20 hours from now, we could be all the way back down to where we're at right now. So you could go up and all the way back. If you just look at the chart, probably some million places on here where you can claim a trend on the 1 hour chart. But to me, I just see the ranges. We're going to go up. Let's just get the fuck out, especially if it's coming into the opening of U.S. markets. I've held positions into those opens, and the market could come flying back. So as soon as the other markets open up, and or it's not a big position, so you don't care. See, so if you're barely in the market, you just don't care. Like if I get to $1,800 of margin here and we go spiking up, I'll just be like, just let it go. We've made our money. We could cash out now. We could trail our stop. Okay, we're just about to auto cash out here. So this is the beauty of having scalps built into here. We want to get to $1,800 of margin usage with a balance of $14,000 here in the next 10 minutes. So, but it doesn't look like it's happening. Oh well. I always wanted to just go smash. When you're watching it, you want it to happen right away. If you're see that was the sell zone here. So we knew there'd be a supply up there on that top of that. So it's backing off there, but that's okay. I think we're still going to pound north. I think I cashed out of something at least. At least I took 300. I took about 150K off the table there. So we're thinning it out here as we go up into the abyss. It's going to be okay. We got to pound it to this top here is the next scramble zone. We figure it's going to rush hard up into this top of the last hour. They're going to bum rush the market there. All right, so it's just cash outs for us. We don't have to worry about the trailing stop because we're going to take profits here. And just let it just go streaming through those tickets. Still approach avoidance issues. Still can't get the party started all the way. So this is kind of annoying, even if you're selling into this thing. So the aggressive sellers would be short from here right now, and they sold. Now they sold a lot right here, and they'll be selling a lot here and a lot here, and just tons up here. Just think about selling everything. I figure that's what the sellers are doing, and right now they're underwater on this ticket. This will be their kind of break even, right, if we come back to this. So I'm thinking of what the sellers are thinking, and the big sellers are going to come in here, and this is what I'll be selling myself, just getting out of my winnings of being long. So I totally agree with their trade plan. You should totally agree with the other guy's trade plan. Oh, I can see you. You're going to put your sell limits here, and the rest of the day you're going to sell. I gotcha. It's not that hard to figure out. And maybe your first sell is going to start here because you're conservative. So your first sell starts here. You're like, yeah, this looks like risky. It may take us an hour to get paid if this coming back to here, whereas this one We could probably get paid in 15 minutes off of that. It's really how long you're waiting to get paid. So if the market smacks up into this, comes back, and you got that trade plan laid in, it's just set it and forget it trading, really. Yeah, this is just about to cash out on these guys. Trying to lighten the load here. All right, thank God. Get that ticket off the table. Looking at $1,800 a margin we're trying to get to. So that might take a while. But at least we popped the cork on some of these. We got out, reducing the exposure, looking for the big rally here and the short squeeze into the US Open. Just a panic. It's a beautiful shoulder here. So that's the 4-hour shoulder. I think I started the video saying I was buying the 4-hour shoulder. Definitely want to see this taken out. This would be the high of the week. But I'm happy to cash out to this. We're done. We go back to sleep. We'll put buy limits in like this. And do the same stupid ass trade over and over again. That's all we do is the same stupid ass trade over and over again. All right, we're getting close here to our $1,800 at $14,000 equity. And then we can relax and let the market cut north. Hopefully this is going to be quick and dirty. I'm definitely going to cash out of the whole position if we get up on here, because that's going to be pretty unsustainable once we get into this box here. Yeah, that's a good sell. Almost made it. Still at $2,000 a margin. Yeah, well, that's going to take some time. But I do think it's destined to pop up in there. Cha-ching. Reduce the exposure here. All right, great. So we got to 1900. I feel good about that. So that's nice. We really got out of some stuff, and now we can just let it drift. We can still cash out any second here, but I think we'll let it go. It looks like it's hell-bent. On the 4-hour chart, it looks amazing. Like, this thing's just hell-bent to take out this trend line. You know, this is a classic situation. And this is a low volatility situation. Everything's getting all tense. The apex of the triangles here. So we'll let it rip. And then it looks more like you're going to go after the high of last week. But I'm happy to make it to this. This will be the first heavy selling point without regard to these stupid triangles. This will be a heavy duty place to sell. I mean, that's going to be some kind of... But my cash out is here, actually. So that's kind of dreamland, so... Alright, so back to sleep. It's 4:30. The half-hour chart's just screaming north. It's the bottom of the hour, half-hour chart. So that's pretty insane price right there. But I can see him popping it up in 5 more minutes. Popping this thing up into the hole. I'm cashing out automatically on that, and I'm just going to have to go flat at some point. And then we'll come in with limits, and that way we can just relax. You put wide stops in, 10 pip stops. I can do it right now. So we can add to this position too, but I wouldn't come close to the market here because this could come ripping back. So it's going to be like this kind of stuff. Trying to make 20 pip bounce. So after we cash out, we can have these guys pending, just sitting, laying in wait to do the same rinse and repeat. It's possible when the U.S. market's open, we're going to come back to that price. And the 20 pip stop, this is or 16, these are the big stops down here. 15 to make 30, 15 to make 30, 15 to make 30. And just put those in now. You can see the trade coming. If you're going to cash out of this thing, you probably want to buy if it comes back down here. That's if it does. Otherwise, let it go up. Here we go, 1800. So we go 1800. We didn't make 14,000, but we're almost at 1800. And I'm just going to be cashing out all the way up into the nosebleed here. Oh, here we go, 1400. Almost 14,000 with 1700. So there, mission accomplished. There she goes, automatically cashing out for me. And we're going to come in with limits, and then we're going to go back to sleep.